Welcome back to the news and now to the most unexpected news development of the day. Many could not believe it when Pakistan Information Minister Sherry Rahman through a text message first confirmed to Pakistan's Dawn News channel, that's around 5:45 this evening, that Ajmal Kasab is a Pakistani. Now keep in mind, this is what Pakistan has denied consistently at least on 200 occasions since 26/11 through different people. Here's one of those denials. Just to put this story in perspective before we begin our Newshour debate tonight. This is the denial of Interior Minister-Chief Rahman Malik. Here on Kerry, very carefully, what he said then.
देखिए जी, एक तो मैं कह रहा हूं हमें कोई किसी किस्म की ऑफिशियल और अनऑफिशियल किसी किस्म की एविडेंस अभी तक प्रोवाइड नहीं की गई। जहां तक अजमल कसाब का तल्लुक है, जब हमने मीडिया में पढ़ा तो मैंने नादरा के रिकॉर्ड से चेक करवाया, उसका नाम कि कोई शनाख्ती कार्ड या वहां पे कोई डिटेल दर्ज नहीं है। हाँ, ये खत जो है जो कि रिपोर्टेडली उसने लिखा है, वो हमारी एम्बेसी जो है इंडिया में उनको मासूल हुआ था, उन्होंने काला में भेजा है।
Okay, now that's one of the many denials, as I said there. Mushahid Hussain, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, either the minister has to get his facts right, or Pakistan is beginning to now actually give out one truth after the other. He said the National Database and Registration Authority does not have his name. Now, I don't want to get into details. Please tell me, Mushahid Hussain, what has prompted this sudden realization, sudden, unannounced realization that Kasab, no, we were wrong all along, he is a Pakistani?
It's very simple. Pakistan was saying from day one all along that India should submit to us the evidence and we will act on that evidence. And the Americans were pushing both sides. They were pressuring the Indians to furnish the evidence and they were asking us to act on it. And once the Indian side gave the government of Pakistan the evidence, the government showed sincerity and seriousness in pursuing the matter, and they reached the conclusion that Kasab is a Pakistani, which means for the first time after Mumbai, both India and Pakistan at least agree on one thing, that Kasab is a Pakistani, and I think it's a step forward, and it should help diffuse tensions between the two countries.
Mr. Hussain, on one part you are right, on the other you are wrong. Yes, India gave the evidence, on that you are right. Where you are wrong is that your foreign secretary, in a statement, in a detailed explanation to your committee, which you head, the Foreign Relations Committee, said rubbish this entire evidence, saying it's credible, not credible enough. So how can you say that you acted on that evidence? You are the head of the committee, to which the Foreign Secretary, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, said that it's not credible enough. It was published all over.
And of course, Mr. Singh is here. He's part of the bureaucracy. There is an element of bureaucratic incompetence, and people can change their views when they get fresh evidence. And once we had the foolproof evidence from India, and we acted on that, at least you should give us credit for being upfront and straight, and also our media, which were the first to bring it out openly, which shows that we are also searching the truth, and we have to go for this common enemy collectively.
But the FBI team went, clearly something happened. There's more than meets the eye. KC Singh wants to respond to you. Go ahead.
I told you.
Mushahid Sahab, Adab,
when I was there, I told you very clearly in Delhi.
Phrase, Der aaye, durust aaye. Better late than never. But this is the first step that we have taken after so much of the effort, almost a month plus of urging Pakistan. We have a very long way to go. Is it going to take us that much of effort for each step?
Yes, because the Indian side was intransigent. They were bellicose. They were talking of war. When the Americans put pressure on the Indian side, okay, now guys, stop it. We can't afford another crisis after Gaza. Then the Indian side did a U-turn, gave us the evidence, and we acted on that evidence. We both acted under American pressure. We should have acted on our own, but the Indian side raised the temperature so much that the issue was tensions, not terrorism. And we were trying to control tensions rather than combating terrorism, which is the real enemy of India and Pakistan.
Now there are transcripts, I believe there are transcripts which have been given of conversations going on between the terrorists in the act of committing their acts and some people from Pakistan. Now, can we expect whether those persons can now be matched to the voices? Can we expect if there can be information on the interrogation which must have taken place in case of Lakhvi and Zarar Shah, whether that will be shared with us?
Yeah, essentially, Mr. Mushahid Hussain, what you're being asked is, you said you're going by the evidence, the same evidence which was rubbished as not credible 24 hours back. If one part of the evidence is credible, then you have to look into the sat phone details. You have to look into the intercepts. You have to look into the other evidence that India has given to you. That proves that the story does not end with Kasav. The story is far longer, far deeper than you're probably looking at right now. You said we did not respond to the media. We responded to the evidence given to us by India. Because if you had responded to the media, then investigative journalist Saeed Shah had traveled to the village. He'd produced national identity card numbers of his parents, Kasab's parents, Mohammad Amir and Noor Ilahi, after they disappeared on the night of December 3rd, 2008. Allegedly, the ISI picked them up. But you are not responding to that. You say we are responding to the evidence. So you're saying India has done good homework and given us evidence which has made us realize in the spate of a few hours that India's got something absolutely right, which we've been in denial about so long. So Kasav can't be the end of the story. You've opened the door. Now you have to open the door to the other evidence that you've been given.
It also shows Pakistan is sincere and serious about this issue, that we have corroborated what the Indians finally gave us, because the Indians were refusing to give us. There was procrastination in India on this count for a number of reasons. And finally, the Indians gave the evidence under American pressure.
Moshad Sahib, I'm sure the law in Pakistan is the same as a Criminal and Evidence Act, because this comes from the British times and from the 19th century. A confession before a police officer is not admissible, but there is a proviso to that. In case something can be recovered as a consequence of that confession, then that confession becomes valid. And I think what is additionally happening is that in case of the intercepts, which some of which we are privy to, not only are in case of the Nariman house, were the handlers from Pakistan aware that Kasab has been caught, but they were also aware that a mistake had been made, that the ship had not been sunk and the GPS system had been lost.